The New World April developer update is here, and well, it's a bit of a doozy with some key information about PvP arenas and the group finder. Now, a quick little caveat here, I have COVID, I'm feeling okay, I'm feeling all good and stuff like that, but I might sound a little bit weird. But let's get into this big subject. Now, they talk a little bit about the April update. We pretty much know that the April update is all about bugs and fixing all that kind of stuff. I'm not really going to dwell on it here. You've already seen the patch notes. If you want to go check that out, please go ahead and do so. Now, before we talk about the PvP arenas, I want to talk about the PvP reward track. This is basically going to be like a reputation grind, I think. Basically, you're going to get more experience the more PvP you do with it, and I suspect it's going to unlock different levels. I'm sort of imagining sort of like the faction vendor. I can't imagine it being a system anything other than that. So you're going to have your XP where you level up, and there is of course going to be a PvP currency. So anytime you do PvP, you're going to get this currency, and then you can spend that on rewards and stuff like that, which I think personally I've been greatly missed from the game since the start, and I'm very happy to see it coming to New World right now, well, in May. And that, as I said, sounds like a classic faction vendor. You're probably going to level up and get to the like higher ranks, and then you're going to have to spend your cash or your tokens to unlock the rewards themselves. All perfect, I'm happy with that. And then the big one that I'm presuming most of us here are interested in is the PvP arenas. We already knew that it was 3v3, and we sort of assumed you could just sign up anywhere in the world because they introduced that without post rush, and so it is proven. Now, the PvP arenas are going to be the best of 5, so whoever wins 3 is going to be the victor. You can queue up as a solo player, or you can indeed queue up as a group. Now, how the matchmaking will work as a group, I don't think they really elaborate on. We just simply don't know. And I'm hoping that if you queue up as a group, that you're only going to face other people who have soloed queue. I hope there's sort of like a solo queue and a group queue, but that sort of then rules out the possibility of queuing up as a duo. So we'll have to wait and see. It did sort of sound like there wasn't matchmaking, because he says like the first 3 in are the first 3 out. So it sort of sounds like literally just a sequential thing. I really hope that's not the case, because if we end up with like 3 live staffers, it's going to be really annoying. But we'll have to wait and see for more details when this comes out in May. Thankfully though, they are introducing something that basically you won't be able to just run away forever. There's essentially going to be like a Fortnite or a Battle Royale system where the circle gets smaller. I think they're calling it Ring of Fire, so that, you know, it's going to do damage and it's going to concentrate the fight into a really small area, just so you know, can't live forever and just run away. Now, that's really all the information that they give us on the PvP arenas, but it's enough for us to start thinking, is this actually going to be a good system or not? As I said, that matchmaking is very much a query at the moment, and the fact that you can solo queue, I do really like that. It's not a system, as far as I can tell, where you're literally going to like play with everybody and then it's, you know, whoever's the best is the best. It sounds like you're just going to get put as 3 of you versus 3 of you, no matter what the matchmaking is, and just whoever wins the first 3 matches will win. It's an interesting system. As I said, this isn't a ranked system or anything like that, so it sounds like it's going to be some sort of like fun activity rather than like hardcore, although I imagine there'll be people who are grouping as 3s going super hardcore there. But that's all we gleaned. Next, they talk about the expedition finder, and I was a little bit disappointed when I realized this, but it sort of sounds like it's not going to be a auto matchmaking system. It's going to be a listing system. You can think of this as basically a tool that whoever is the leader of the group, basically they're going to go to the expedition and then they're going to create a listing, and then people in the world will be able to look at the group finder, presumably from the mode section like everything else, and then just look if there's like any Genesis groups that you can sign up for. You're going to find the Genesis group, you're going to hit it and say and sign up and, you know, join. Now, there is stuff like you'll be able to set roles, so they actually talk about roles like healer, DPS and stuff like that. First indication of that really coming, so it's nice to see that. You will be able to set gear score and maybe like weapon expertise, but yeah, it's that kind of system. What's interesting is that they talk about roles for the expedition finder, but they don't talk about roles for the PvP arena. I sort of feel like that would be really handy there, so I really hope that that system, you know, maybe comes in a bit sooner, if you know what I mean, but we'll have to wait and see. So really, unfortunately, when it comes to both PvP and the Expedition Group Finder, that's literally all we know. But it's just interesting to sort of peel behind the curtain and to consider how it's going to work. The PvP stuff sounds like it's going to be very similar to the faction vendor. You're going to have levels and you're going to have a currency, but you're going to do this from like all types of PvP. Great for PvPers, very happy to see that. The arenas being best of 5 is interesting. The little worry is that they don't really talk about matchmaking, but there's a bit of hope in the future because because they do talk about roles with the Expedition Finder, so we'll have to wait and see. And the Expedition Finder, I'm not overly disappointed that it's not like an autofill kind of thing. I just thought that's what it was going to be, that you literally just say, oh, I want to do Genesis, and you just get filled. No, you're gonna basically have to find a group in the old school way, just using a tool designed for that. It's better than what we have, but you know, I can understand how it's not perfect. And then there's a couple of little things regarding transfers. They do say that after the April update, both regional and paid transfers will not be far from that. So if you're waiting on those, your prayers might be answered very soon. But that's it for the developer update. Thankfully, this one's only like 20 minutes, so if you want to go watch it, feel free. It's probably almost as long as this video. Have a most beautiful day. Like and subscribe. Come and follow me on Twitch, because when I don't have COVID, I sometimes stream. Goodbye.